Right now, New Zealand households are being more selective. While spending continues, it is highly deliberate. We are seeing the rise of the mindful consumer, a shopper who checks 3 sites, waits for a specific promo, and seeks pure verification before any transaction. This caution is meeting a digital environment saturated with synthetic, AI-generated content. Low-effort blogs and generic videos designed only to capture clicks are making it harder for these shoppers to find a human voice they actually trust. The 2026 general election is adding a layer of noise. As political parties flood digital platforms with campaign spending, ad costs are rising. Simultaneously, surging political attacks and synthetic media are driving public trust to a breaking point. The 2023 playbook, broad social ads, keyword-stuffed blogs, and chasing public likes is hitting a wall. On a skeptical, budget-conscious feed, traditional signals of reach are failing to convert into actual business. Navigating this requires mapping the journey differently. Success today depends entirely on exactly how a brand integrates strict relevance and hyper-local context into the very first interaction. To grow an online brand today, businesses have to stop fighting algorithms for generic reach. The focus has to shift toward proving your undeniable authenticity to buyers who have learned to doubt everything they see. Discovery now begins with zero-click search. Instead of scrolling through pages of blue links, users are finding synthesized AI answers right at the top of their screens. This diagram shows how traditional search results are collapsing into a single AI answer box. Because of this, the priority has shifted to answer engine optimization, or AEO. The goal is no longer just ranking on page 1. It is being the specific source the AI chooses to cite. To earn that citation, your content must address specific conversational questions. If a user asks, "How do I insulate an older Auckland home?" the AI prioritizes highly targeted niche articles over generic national guides. Discovery is also moving into video. For younger New Zealanders, platforms like TikTok and Instagram Reels are the primary search engines. They are actively typing queries into video apps to research products and local services. To capture this traffic, you need to rely on hyper-local cues. The nearby feed rewards content that mentions specific suburbs or showcases recognizable local landmarks. Specific location cues provide the exact data points algorithmic agents need to categorize your business. By verifying your physical context, you earn placement in feeds curated for proximity. Brand discovery in 2026 relies on being the clearest, most locally relevant answer to a user's problem. Shouting the loudest with a generic advertisement just gets you filtered out. Once a shopper finds you, the evaluation phase begins. Consumers are actively rejecting high-budget, polished commercials, and they have zero tolerance for vague corporate greenwashing. They expect evidence, not slogans. We call this the authenticity premium. Raw, unscripted video of a real person giving a behind-the-scenes look significantly outperforms highly edited studio shoots. This chart compares the cost and engagement of different influencer tiers. Notice how the massive macro influencers on the left require huge budgets but deliver lower engagement rates. On the right, local micro-influencers, creators with 1 to 50,000 followers, are generating massive engagement at a fraction of the cost. These smaller creators fragment into highly active niche communities. They offer hyper-targeted reach and possess the exact localized trust that large brands struggle to build on their own. But whether it's an influencer post or your own video, the window to prove that authenticity is tiny. If your unpolished video doesn't hook the viewer with a clear, relevant point in the first 3 seconds, they will scroll past. Trust cannot be bought with high production value. It must be borrowed from authentic local voices and proven through absolute transparency. Finally, we have to look at where the actual sales happen. Public feed engagement, the total number of likes and comments, is steadily dropping. People are lurking and viewing, but they aren't engaging in public. High-intent interactions have migrated into direct messages and private sharing networks. The real conversations, where users ask questions and decide to buy, are happening out of public view. Meta's own structural shifts reflect this permanent behavioral change. They are actively testing features and prototypes like Instants, built entirely around private sharing between mutual followers. But relying entirely on rented private social channels is risky. Sudden algorithmic shifts or new privacy regulations can instantly cut off your access to those customers. This graphic shows the necessary solution. You must actively move those private social conversations off the platforms and into owned assets. specifically a fast-loading website and a secure branded email list. The modern conversion engine requires capturing attention in private social spaces and immediately locking it into an environment that you actually control. Operating your digital channels in isolated silos, putting SEO in one bucket and social media in another, is no longer a viable strategy for the modern market. A successful brand acts as a continuous, interconnected ecosystem. AI-driven discovery, local social proof, and owned conversions all feed directly into each other, creating a closed loop of trust. Your immediate next steps are clear. Secure a strong, professional domain name. Build a consistent habit of capturing unpolished video content. And identify a handful of local micro-partners who actually align with your brand values. The internet is drowning in artificial noise and algorithmic junk. Consumers are exhausted, and they are desperately looking for real, human businesses they can actually rely on. The brands that survive and thrive in 2026 won't be the ones trying to hack the algorithm. They will be the ones that master this new path to verifiable authenticity.